Bienvenido a Cabo Wine Guys, donde hablamos de vino, copas y cultura del vino en México. Hello everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
We have our first episode in English with two amazing guests for our episode today. Roger, would you like to do the honors?
Yes, thank you so much. First and foremost, welcome, guys. Thank you so much for coming along this day. We would like to introduce Colton and Jesse Watson from Sunset Valley Winery.
Thank you for inviting us.
No, please, our pleasure. And episode number 18. 18 already.
Double checked.
Moving forward. So as every episode, we normally start with the blind tasting, okay? And this time, Francisco brought 2 bottles, and the first white that we have is, let's see.
Okay.
Okay, so shall we?
Hope you enjoy, guys.
You said that one was classic and the other one not.
The
right?
white wine is classic. This one is a classic grape from a classic area. So it's nothing that you have not tried before. Pretty sure all of you guys have tried lots of wine from this grape in this place.
Mm-hmm.
There's a twist in winemaking in this wine that might take you to other places maybe, or make you think about other styles of wine. However, it's a recognizable grape, the style and the quality as well. Would you like to describe the wine?
Yep, sure.
Ooh.
Well, the acids are good.
Mm-hmm.
I like the acids in it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's important for me because I need acid in seafood. If I'm eating seafood, you don't have a lot of acid. Makes your fish taste fatty.
Yes.
It's not a desirable quality.
Well, I think that the wine is aromatic. I think it's pretty expressive on the nose. I skipped the color, sorry. First of all, the color is a beautiful, golden, bright, clear. There's no evidence of sediment. The viscosity is medium, slightly medium plus. On the nose, as I was saying, I find it very aromatic. I think it's very evocative. Mostly on the tree fruit, lots of yellow apples, red apples, lots of tropical notes as well. A little bit of pineapple, papaya. I think it's very aromatic. There is a hint of oak. It's interesting because it's oaky / flinty. I wouldn't say there is new oak on this one. From the nose, on the palate. The wine is vivid. It has brightness, bright acidity, like Jesse was saying. I confirmed the stone fruit, the tree fruit. I think the wine has a mineral hint as well. The alcohol is medium. The acidity is medium as well. The impact of the oak, I think it's very, very well done, very melted in the wine. Again, I confirm that there is no evidence of new oak, although there is oak. It's interesting that you were saying about the winemaking technique. It's interesting because it feels like it is barrel fermented, but I don't find malolactic flavors or aromas on the palate and on the nose. I think it's a very well-made wine. Possible varieties for me is Chardonnay. It can be a blend of Chenin Chardonnay, it
Not
can.
classic. That's not classic.
True, it is not classic. Chenin Blanc can also be a possible variety. And finally, because of the structure, Viognier could be in the mix. I think it comes from a moderate, warmy climate. I would think a possible region maybe California, Northern California for sure. Vintage, I will call this a 2023. And great quality wine.
So you said California as
As a possible region, yes.
possible region.
Possible
and
region
the
for the-
varieties. Any
For the Chardonnay, if it was a Chenin Blanc, which is classic, has to be from Loire Valley, but I don't really find it in that area. So I would stick to the California Chardonnay.
California Chardonnay.
Yep.
Nisu.
I don't know. I'm a little confused. Because the wine is like it's aromatic. It has a phenolic bitterness, but at the same time it has this kind of oak presence or roundness, and I think that's indicative of many things that could be going on regarding the origin of the wine and the winemaking. I do think it is an aromatic grape, so it should be, in my opinion, possible varieties would be Viognier, Albarino. I thought about Chenin Blanc, but I don't think it is Chenin. The acidity is not super high.
There's not much apples as well as
No,
Chenin, right?
no, it's way more stone
peach,
fruit.
Stone fruit. Yes.
Floral, a lot of floral, like orange blossom, and it has this jasmine notes, white tea notes. So I think that's why I think it might be Albarino with oak, because I have tried these styles and it does taste like that, but I'm not sure because of the structure. So let me try again, and I'll say my final call.
You guys, any
Varietal, I'm sort of leaning towards Chardonnay or even Chenin Sec. I've had Chenin Secs like this before. And staying with the classic, I'm sort of leaning towards France. Chardonnay in France. I pick up in the sort of early mid palate some of this lemony. It's like a lemon cream pie, and I feel like I love the finish. One of the things I appreciate about well-made wines is they finish well, and they want to hang out in your mouth and coat it, as opposed to wines that aren't well-made. They'll hang out in your mouth, and you're like, I need a drink of water, because this is what's hanging out is not nice.
exactly?
So I like the hangout part of this particular wine that you shared with us. And I'm still really stuck on sort of that lovely lemon cream with with the pie crust, or sort of that.
Yeah, it's like that. Maybe it's the leesy character of the wine, right? Mm-hmm. It has some lees content.
I'm gonna say with Albarino.
Albarino.
Sí.
Okay.
Tres Baixas, 2022.
Okay. You? Oh,
I'm leaning more in the potentially Chardonnay to Viognier.
Viognier. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Wanna know what it is?
The
Always.
reveal.
Final call.
What price point?
Price point?
I think it's
700.
yeah, it's easily
Alright.
600. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
700 pesos.
In dollars, what do you think you will pay for this?
Oh, I think people will pay $45.
$45. Okay. Listo.
650. Yeah,
Well, somebody
36.
did a great job on it. It's Alvarinho.
Nice.
This is
Ah,
high-end,
Nice.
high-end
Little
Alvarinho from Villas
Spanish.
Baixas.
Lindeiros.
Lindeiros. Lindeiros is a bottle made by Lagarde Cornelos,
Nice.
which is owned by La Rioja Alta.
Salud.
And this is not your classic
Concurso
Alvarinho.
de
Very
de uva
nice.
2026. Here we go.
Andas con todo, ¿no? Seguiste. Well, the thing about this Alvarinho is has 3 different fermentation vessels. It's 25% in 400-liter French oak.
Okay.
25% is in concrete eggs, and 50% in stainless steel. And they, after fermentation, they age in the same vessels for
Oh, very nice.
12 months. So it makes it more complex. This is a 2021, and this is a bottle made to age. So what they're thinking is about making a high-end, high complexity Alvarinho.
Yeah.
It's in the process. The wine is
Yeah.
just developing now, but it can last for a lot more. And this is a $100 price point bottle of wine.
Okay.
Nice. Thank you.
Very nice.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I would have never guessed
We should do the
Alvarinho.
other one.
No.
The
Right after.
profiles in Spain.
We
I
should
always
do
get
the
a
other
different
one right
profile.
after so
See?
that we can taste it nicely. It's red. It's a red wine.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
Why
think
not?
the world of Alvarinho has exploded in the recent years. You know,
Nice.
I mean, they're making amazing stuff now. Some Botrytis, some sparklings, some in these characters worthy of age, bottle aging. Of course, you have the vibrant, crisp, bone dry Alvariños as well. But so many shades of Alvarinho nowadays.
That's pretty cool.
The idea also of the winery is why people are willing to pay large amounts of money on Chardonnay from California, high-end Chardonnay from Burgundy. Why don't they have a really, really nice high-end Alvarinhos in the market, right? There's just a few of them. And this is their option for people that just love the grape and want to try something different with more complexity and high-end. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful bottle.
Well, and I like the fact that they're doing different types of fermentation vessels.
Yeah.
We do that.
So
And so-
they're focused on high-end and making the wine more complex
Yeah,
with the
it's
winemaking.
fantastic.
Well, this is the red wine that I pour now is really something total opposite of classic. So just have fun with it. And do it quick. Don't
Nice.
take much time on it because you're definitely not gonna nail this. Nobody in the world, I think, will nail this.
We'll try.
Well, try.
It's jammy fruit for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like overripe by 100%. Jammy, berry, alcoholic fruit, so to speak.
So a lot
Almost
of
burnt
passive,
tire.
currant.
Sí,
Lots of currant.
Lots of currant, yeah.
There's some like hibiscus flower, pomegranate juice, cranberry.
For me, this is like
Some blue fruit.
reminds me of a Mexican wine.
Mexico.
There's a lot of salt in it,
Oh,
and I've
you've
only
tasted?
had that in Mexican wines.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of black fruit.
The other day we tasted a Cabernet from Israel. And that was hard too.
That was crazy.
We were all over the place.
Got some tobacco notes.
like an astringency, it's like a vegetal astringency. It kind
Yeah.
of hangs out
Yeah.
on the finish.
Little harshness, no?
Tannins aren't integrated very well.
Yeah, the tannins are on the softer side as well. Do you feel like the wine is well balanced? Do you think it's well made?
Tiene un amargo, ¿no? Al final.
Un amarguito.
Fuerte. Amargor en boca, que no sé si sea por mix de fruta verde y madura o
O por el estilo.
o barrica, no sé.
Sí se siente, ¿no?
Rica o vieja, ¿no?
Sí. I would say it's Cab from a non-classic region, I think, or a Cab
Or a
blend.
blend.
Because he has like the pyrazines present,
No, some beers.
I think. So I think it should be like a Cab blend, maybe Cab Merlot or if
Or
it's a
even
Mexican
Syrah.
wine, like a Cab Tempranillo or some crazy blend like that.
Cabo Tempranillo.
Yeah.
And I do think it's Mexican.
Mexico.
So
Region of Mexico.
it smells. It has like I think it has like American oak in it. I'm thinking Parras, but I'm not sure.
Parras.
Coahuila.
Coahuila.
Sí.
Checho para Mexico.
Roy, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that it's a blend. I wouldn't think it's a mono variety wine. I am mostly on Baja California side because of that jammy / overly ripe, and also the color, the fact that it's mostly old barrels. I even find I don't know about you guys, but I even find a slightly hint of VA, but
Yes.
Sí.
I get it.
Sí. And I think it might be the bitterness associated with it.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but it's there. Yeah.
Yeah, probably even like a blend of vintages. 'Cause it's got some fresh fruit things, but
And some
also
other
very.
vibe.
It doesn't seems to fit on the same.
Multi-vintage, right?
Yeah.
Or
In
they-
non-vintage red.
No, one of the ways you can get that too is harvesting at different bricks.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
can
that was
harvest
Nisu
21,
was saying.
22,
That's what I was saying.
24.
But the green is too green. I mean, for me, I mean the green in the and instead of integrating in the wine, it's like you have two opposite, like
Opposing forces.
opposing forces in the wine, like ripeness and nice tannin, but then on the other side you had the like vegetal and more bitter components.
Yeah, like a bitter herb, that green.
Sometimes I think if you do like a whole bunch or something without ripeness, you get these kinds of notes. I've tried them wines that are like this in the past, and that was the reason, from what I remember. But I'm not sure. It could be like Roger said, like like you said, harvesting like
At different
early
levels.
and then mid-season and then overripe season.
Yeah, you can get complexity out of wine doing that.
Yeah.
But I think for me, if you get into the higher brick level wine, when you increase your alcohol, and your fruit profile just turns into black fruit and it lacks nuance.
Yeah.
And I prefer wines that are harvested at earlier bricks in that red blue fruit zone, so it allows lower alcohol, but I get to taste the fruit.
Nice.
Makes sense.
We're all very curious to see what this one is.
So everybody said Mexican wine?
I think
I'm leaning that
You have
direction.
different column there?
could be Chile.
It could be in somewhere in California as well.
California?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, it's true.
Or
Probably Temecula or yeah.
or we're all wrong and it's another Spanish wine.
You're definitely really close. Fine. It's Mexico.
Yes.
It is not Coahuila, it's Baja California. but nobody's close to the grape. It's really, really crazy. This is a project called Entre Tres, made by the Salinas family that owns some distribution of wine in Tijuana with Luis Peciña, the winemaker.
Okay.
And this is Marcelan.
Ah, okay.
Wow.
Marcelan is a
100%.
crossing with Cabernet and Grenache.
Yeah.
Cabernet Sauvignon.
Huh.
It has 12 months in French oak. This is a line called Enoludica, which is like a experimental style of wine.
Mm.
Never tried Marcelan before.
Interesting.
So that's nice, interesting.
Well, we did nail it a little bit in the descriptions that
Yeah. Yeah, you were
For
really
Ojos
close.
Negros.
we. Uh-huh.
You were really close on that.
Marcelan Ojos
How
Negros.
close is that to the ocean?
Not very, because
No.
Ojos Negros is high altitude.
Inland.
Well,
Okay.
high altitude. Speaking
It will
of
be
Baja California.
200 meters.
Yeah,
around
300, yeah. Interesting.
Something way different from what we taste
Yeah.
every episode.
Shall we do a little pause and we pour your wines?
Sure.
And meanwhile we talk?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. Perfect. So I'll bring them so we can start.
Oh yeah. So we have the first important subject for today, and we're back with the first wine from Sunset Valley Vineyards. So I was telling our audience that our first subject of the day, of course, is talking about your guys' project and these beautiful wines that I can see are right on point from Oregon. So it's just talking about your project, your wines. I can see that it's a very nice, elegant label. So it's
Well,
just,
thank
just tell us everything, please.
So we are, we live in the Willamette Valley, which has its own large AVA, and so the Willamette has approximately at least 12 smaller AVAs inside of it, and they seem to be emerging new ones all the time. So part of what we were doing is on the other side of the state of Oregon, about 400 miles away, my wife's family had homesteaded, her grandparents had homesteaded a farm back in the 40s. And her grandmother's still alive, she's 101, still lives on the farm out there. And so we bought a 100-acre farm that is conjoined. It joins the family farm property. But there's hardly any wineries or vineyards over there, so it was sort of a, hey, let's jump off the cliff and see if we end up with a parachute somewhere. So we talked with people who know a lot more about this than we do, and we have friends in the industry, so we were able to connect with them and go, hey, do you think this is going to be a viable project? Because one of the things that we've learned over time is that you can grow the grapes there, but that doesn't mean it makes good wine there. And so we wanted to make sure we planted the right kind of fruit that you can make great wine with. Like the Willamette Valley, we have Riesling, Chardonnay, and Pinot, and the Willamette's mostly known for the Pinot Noir. And so we wanted to make sure that the Sunset Valley Vineyard site is in the Snake River AVA, but it just cuts and slices into a little bit of Oregon, but it's mostly in Idaho. But it's high desert, high heat. So we got a lot of sandy loam. So with all of those features, we wanted to make sure that if we planted, and we were planting 40 acres of fruit, so we've got 8 4.58 blocks. And it's a big investment because we have to irrigate too. So we have drip irrigation.
Okay.
What we had to do to get it all in is it's a heavy lift right from the beginning to plant 40 acres of fruit. And then you got 3 years before you get any harvest. So there's lots of work that goes into the development side of it. In the meantime, in order to figure that out, we started in 2020, and we bought Syrah and Malbec in the Snake River to play with to see if those two varietals would really, what could we do with those? And so then I met a guy, his name's Nicholas Keeler, and he's our winemaker. and we worked with him, and he makes elegant, beautiful wines. And he has his own label called Authentique. And at that point, we'd owned a wine shop downtown Portland, and he came in and poured his wines for us. And I was like, you're making my kind of wine. Where have you been sort of all my life, kind of a deal. And come to find out, he grew up in the little farming town next to the farm that I grew up on.
Wow.
And so it was just sort of like, you got to be kidding me. And the town's called Amity, and now it's become a big part of.
Amity.
Yeah, it's become a well-known area for wine. But when we were kids, it was a place you wanted to be from. You weren't going to stay there. It was kind of like, no.
So this is in the east of Willamette? Of the whole AVA?
So the Amity for us is kind of right, not quite in the middle of the Willamette. So it's between Portland and Salem.
Okay.
And then it goes further south. But in that particular AVA that's really close to it is what they call the Eole.
Amity.
Yeah, AVA. One of the unique things about, in particular, the Willamette wines, in this AVA, we get a lot of sea breeze in the summer that cools. So, and it goes through what we call the Van Duzer corridor. And so we get this great cooling, but the winds add to the overall terroir of that particular region. And so the Riesling you're drinking is an Eole Amity AVA Riesling. And it's right up above, so you got the little town of Amity, but to the east of it, there's a big hill. And up on top of it, there's a couple vineyards, one called Beaujolais, and the other one's the Keeler, which is my winemaker's family estate. And so this Riesling comes from the Keeler family estate, which you also have all these different sedimentary soils from different layers of clay, but then you end up all these marine sediment layers. And so that was part of what makes that particular vineyard site so unique, with the Riesling, Chardonnay, and Pinot that we were able to buy their fruit.
How high is the vineyard?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know the elevation off the top of my head.
Okay.
Colton's a
I think
pilot.
it's in the close to 2,000.
I don't think it's that high.
Isn't that high? No.
Doesn't fit? 2,000 feet?
Yeah, we'd have to look it up. I don't really know.
Oh, but it's pretty high. I mean,
That's
for
high.
So
interesting.
So in that particular, what we're looking at for the wines in the Willamette was trying to make our goal has been is to make elegant, beautiful wine with a lot of aromatics, great finish, a wine that you just want to hang out with for a long time. And so part of it, making sure that the whites, they got lots of acid so that you can drink them comfortably, but they're easy to pair with food. So for me, wine and food go together, and so that's also part of the model that we're building. This year we're working on building our tasting building over on the Snake River side, 400 miles away, where the vineyard is, with that whole being a wine and food experience, not just we have a tasting room where people are going to come in and just drink wine. We really want you to experience the wine with food and understand that there's a relationship between the two.
How developed or not is the Snake River in terms of wine and enoturism?
That's a great question. It's sort of a diamond into the rough. So they've had vineyards there for a long time, and there's a couple well-established wineries and vineyards in that particular area. But it's an area that's just still needs to grow. Mm-hmm. It's got lots of room to grow. So in that sense of it, I think the potential for the Snake River AVA is great. I feel like we're just where Oregon and the Willamette Valley was 30 years ago.
Okay.
You're just kind of finding your way, making sure you get the right varietals.
I mean, the notoriety of Snake River farms in terms
Yeah.
of cattle, that should help somehow too.
For branding wise, that's what people remember as Snake River beef. Right?
Exactly, which is big. I mean,
Yeah.
it's becoming a thing with
Yeah.
renowned chefs. And
Yes, it is. And it's also, that's farm country. So if you ever look us up on Google Earth, because we put a pin right on the vineyard area, that's just farm country. And so that whole area, our vineyard almost goes up against the desert, and there's nobody else out there. And you'll see the rest of that country is a lot the same way. There's a lot of farming, a lot of ranching. It's growing a lot. A lot of people are moving to Idaho.
Okay.
And it's an amazing amount of growth. So we're hoping that it's going to continue to grow and people will begin to move into food and wine culture. Before it was just, I think, burgers and beer culture.
Well,
Both are nice.
exactly.
We don't have anything against one.
No. They complement each other.
They do. They're just hard on my waistline.
We say wine is made on beer.
Well, so many winemakers say like, it takes a lot of good beer to make good
Good
wine.
wine.
Right? So,
That it does.
So there's some
it's very pretty.
some creaminess to the wine. Where does that come from?
I think there's several different factors going on. One is, when we were talking earlier about fermentation vessels. So we have a whole lineup of fermentation vessels. So the nature of this particular fruit in that particular soil imparts a certain degree. I think that adds more minerality. I find that the Keeler whites, we have a Chardonnay that we get from that fruit. It reminds me of Chardonnays from Montrachet.
Wow.
So, and I brought one of the Keeler Chardonnays, so it's kind of interesting. You're going to see a Riesling and a Chardonnay from the same site, right? So, and some of that creaminess, I think, also is imparted by. We do a lot in concrete. For the Riesling, it goes into the press, and then it goes into an egg, and it spends a lot of time in a concrete egg.
Oh, okay.
And then it also goes into neutral oak, and the 22 Riesling, I think, was in oak for at least 18 months.
So is the same wine moving from vessel to vessel?
So and then sometimes we'll go back. It'll be an oak for neutral oak for a while, and then it'll go back in, finish it off in concrete.
Okay, and that's nice.
So it kind of depends on the vintage where you really want to go with it, and how it's turning out. Sometimes we'll leave it in oak longer.
All right. What do you guys think? I think it's very nice Riesling.
It's really nice.
It has nice acidity, good fruit, a little bit of like candied lime notes.
Get a minerality that it's like dusty. I think is really, really complex on the wine that I enjoy it really much.
I'm not a big petrol fan in Riesling. Some people really love the gasoline nature of some Rieslings.
Yeah.
And this has just a touch.
Like
It's really clean.
officially, it's supposed that the TDN, the gasoline petrol note, it's a defect in the wine.
Fault.
Okay.
It's a fault, but it's an accepted fault.
It's like
that-
some people desire it.
that adds complexity to the Riesling. But I'm not a fan of like very strong TDN.
Yeah.
Like in this one, it's almost not perceptible.
Yeah, it's just subtle and it'll blow off in the aromatics.
Yeah.
When was the vineyard planted?
Oh, the Keeler stuff?
Yeah.
20 years ago.
Okay. Nice.
So I'm very, very eager to try
Sure,
that
that
Chardonnay. that you
yeah.
mentioned.
We should try that Chardonnay.
Thank you. Very nice.
I got it. Para que se les antoje, mira. Míralo. Para que sí.
Mejor que la cortinilla. Increíble. Live.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's
Y trae desde que lo sirves, ¿no?
Burgundian style all the way. Nice.
That was the goal.
Very nice. I think I would confuse it in a blind tasting for sure.
Very easy.
We get that feedback a lot.
Yeah.
This particular Keeler Chardonnay, we have two. The Keeler Chardonnay, and then we have Beaujolais, which is right up at the top of the same hill. I liken it to this drinks more towards Montrachet, and the Beaujolais is like Chablis. So we just lucked into it, I think. It was just fortuitous. Same thing, sort of similar in the oak profile. It's
The nose is
generally it's like one new oak barrel. New oak is
Yeah.
we're do it
what kind
carefully.
of oak do you use?
French. It's my winemaker is also the Allery barrel maker in France. He's the North American rep.
Oh, okay.
So he has an excellent knowledge of library of oak, and so he's able to craft all of our wines. And so we're also able to do layered approach. So like when you get into reds, we'll do like a free, like before you press, we get free run juice, and that will go in its own type of barrel.
Oh.
And then like soft pressed, and then second soft press, and then hard press. They all go in different lots.
And then you blend at the end?
They all stay in their separate barrels until we go to blending trials at the end.
For the bottling.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's usually at least 18 to 20 months.
What do you do with the wine that doesn't make it into the blend?
It gets sold to the general market of
Okay.
$2 chuck.
Too much.
Roger, you're gonna have these wines, or you have them already?
No, we were talking. It's
We're exploring the possibility.
exploring exactly.
Getting wines here is difficult.
I mean, it's good wine.
Yeah.
Do you export this wine outside of the United States? So everything is sold in the
In the U.S.
US. And which is your main market for the US? Like which
Just
states,
our-
which area?
Oregon and Idaho. We like this particular Chardonnay. We made like 60 cases of it.
So it's really
It's all micro fermentations.
Yeah. Two
So-
barrels.
Yeah, we need like 4 barrels in order, because generally you have to break one at some point. And so we're basically buying 3.5 tons of this Chardonnay and 3.5 tons of that Chardonnay. And so we're trying to narrow in and just make really elegant wines. And so then we have all the different vessels, because we have concrete and have upright oak fermenters and stainless. And we also have a really big oak foudre that we'll finish the Chardonnays inside of. Right now, one of the 23 Chardonnays sitting inside the foudre.
So you're just missing an amphora.
Oh, we have one.
Oh, you have it.
We have amphora.
So you have all
Yeah,
the
we have
vessels.
amphora, and then we have rotary oak.
Very oak.
Yeah, so we also brought the Tempranillo, and it was done in rotaries.
Oh, okay.
For the first time?
No, we started doing rotaries in 21 was our first Tempranillo. So we started out using rotary.
And the Tempranillo, where does it come from?
Snake River.
That's your vineyard.
This year. When
Okay.
we first bought it, that would have been on the Idaho side.
Okay.
Same AVA, just in Idaho.
Yeah, on the other side.
Yeah, on the other side of the river.
Like
Snake
Colombia,
River, really.
like Colombia. I mean,
Yeah,
it can be.
it separates the two states. The
It's kind
snake.
of a large AVA, no?
Yeah, it's a good size AVA.
Yes, I was looking at the map and it's really, really big. So the Idaho side is small, right?
Idaho's really big.
Oh, the Idaho side of the Snake River?
Yeah,
is
it
big?
just we're on the slice
You are-
and the Oregon side.
The Oregon side is the one that's small.
Yeah, it's very small.
So I remember that one side was small and the other one was.
Yeah.
So do you carry these wines in like high-end restaurants in the area? What's your like main market? People buy it to bring at home, or do you distribute in restaurants? Or what do you do with
It's balanced, so we want to support our wine club members.
Okay.
We're also trying to grow an inventory of wine so that when we open our tasting building, we have enough wine to pour for people. So that takes a few years because we do all such small lots. We don't make more than 1,200 cases, everything, a year. And so the main market right now has just been picking the right kind of restaurants that will sell this level of wine.
Always.
And so it's El Gaucho is a steakhouse in Portland.
Argentinian steakhouse.
Yeah, and so they carry our wines. That they love that they carry the Tempranillo, and I have a Malbec, and the people really love the Malbec.
Blue fruit?
It's low alcohol, blue fruit. Tastes like blueberries.
Nice.
And so in that sense of it, that's there. We also have another place that's sort of like our French Laundry. It's called Joel Palmer House. It's been there for many, many years. And so we do our annual release wine dinner every June at the Joel Palmer House. And they carry all of our wines. So that's between those two places, that's kind of where that stuff lives in Portland. Boise is going to start, there's a couple restaurants that really love the Malbec and the Oregon Pinot and Chardonnay. But for the most part, we're not scattered out everywhere. And it's just myself and my son and my wife handles the wine club.
It's a family.
Yeah, and so it's,
What's the total production so far?
so far it's 1,200 cases a year.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's like,
I mean, nothing but a lot, of course. But
yeah, and I think in that sense of it, it's, and we're not selling wine. We just released the 22s last year, right? So there's a lot of investment that goes into a vintage, a lot of money that goes into it, and then you sit on it for 2 years before you release it. You're not getting anything back for a very long time. So we joke around, the only person that's going to make money at this is our son.
and also if, right?
And he'll be my age when he starts making
Exactly. It has to be generational. Business.
Yeah, in order to really establish sort of that overall vision around great wine and also pairing it with great food, but also it's the relationships we get to build with people. For me, that's also one of the reasons. Wine allows me to communicate and talk to other people
Yeah, wine is all about that.
and building relationships. And we really like building relationships. So that's part of the Sunset Valley idea, the vision behind it.
Amen.
That is great, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great project, nice wines. We'll see if we can source them here. I know someone who might be able to bring the wine.
Facilitate that process.
Everything helps.
So the next subject of our episode today, and we can just discuss together with the wines that we have to try, is the role of AI
Oh,
in the sommelier and the winemaker world. Because you can see it from two standpoints. It could be disruptive, or it could be optimizing your work, right? But I think that it came to stay. We want to like see the world again without AI, right?
yeah.
So it's just talking to you guys about what's your view from the industry, from your position as a nice winemaking project, and then talking to these guys as well about their roles in the wine business, from the distributor to the store to even like maybe we know a lot of guys that do the floor. Like I do the floor sometimes still, and it's like sharing what our experiences with AI have been so far.
Where would you like to start?
Well, for me, it's been a game changer in terms of optimizing my time.
That's true.
It is like I think that all the backend in my case, I do. I'm the F&B of a hotel. We have two restaurants, so all of the back end work that used to take a lot of my time, now it takes minutes. So for me, that's it's like a little bit liberating in terms of my time that I can do.
Like the paperwork side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I can focus on pretty much everything else that is actually the core of the business, which is like training, doing relationships.
The relationship side of the world, right?
relationships, being on the floor and talking to our guests, blah, blah, blah. So for me, it's like a game changer in that aspect. And it also has helped me improve my studying a lot because I'm trying my attempt on the Master Sommelier next year. So it has helped me do everything faster.
Yeah.
And that is the good point for me.
Because we kind of have 1 foot in each camp.
Yeah.
We're like, we're farmers, but we also do winemaking.
Yeah.
And so the farming side of the aisle, though, AI has helped when we have equipment breakdown and we need to tear into something. And we're like, oh, man.
Of course.
And then you start, because we have to drive almost an hour to get parts. We're a long ways away.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So you don't want to make 5 trips to town.
Exactly. No.
So when we have a piece of equipment break, you're like, so what's the like, okay, is this something that is it a computer-based thing? Because we can't fix the computer software problems. But when it comes to other parts of the equipment, like, okay, I need to source this particular part, or if I'm going to tear this piece apart, AI can help to some point. But it's limited based
Like
on
you could take a picture of a part and have it scan online for,
Im-
what that part would,
immediately
could
locating it
potentially be,
in
and
places.
then it kind of helps you
Yeah.
have a source of where I need to go look for it.
Yeah.
That's helpful.
yeah, and places you can call. Otherwise,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're-
Or order it.
order. Yeah, I think that part is Amazon's really made a big difference in
Yeah.
getting things when you're way out in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really, we have no experience of using AI in the farming side of the world other than just repairs.
Okay.
It
That's
doesn't, because
interesting.
you're still, farming is still farming.
So in terms of like operations in the winery or things like this, you haven't used it so far.
No, we don't use it that way. I will use it for compliance with rules and regulations from the state.
For like the documents or.
Yeah, or trying to figure out, does this rule apply?
Yeah.
Does it not apply?
Okay.
Even, I mean, for the wine club, could be a great tool.
For marketing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just this is the or figure out the program for 2026 for this wine club where it's based on this amount of labels saying we want to sell this. You know, create these strategies and
It can help
boom.
create, like content or help create
Yeah, everything.
imaging and
Scheduling
things like
it.
that for trying to get
Like all of that.
advertising.
Even suggest. Yeah, well, maybe try to do 2 release days. I don't know, right?
Well,
Summer release day plus a winter.
Our youngest son manages the website. And so I played around with AI as far as, hey, let's try and make this do whatever, and came up with this little weird video clip. He banned me from doing it. He goes, you need to find somebody else, and it ain't you. He goes, that was creepy.
Yeah, that's right. You can go
Keep the old guys out of AI.
many ways.
That's very nice Pinot, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is. Like really classic style of Winona Valley
Yeah.
Pinot.
And more on the
Fruit,
pure-
yeah,
pure
elegant
fruit.
side, huh?
Elegant. It's
Yeah.
really, really elegant.
So this is this is one of 3, and basically this is the child of the other 2. The other 2 Pinots, one is from Ribbon Ridge, and it's called Ridgecrest. It's one of the oldest established Pinot vineyards in the Ribbon Ridge, and then the Keeler family Pinot. So those are single bottled varietals, and out of that we created a blend. So that way on the bottle it'll say Willamette AVA because it's actually from 2 different AVAs.
Within the
Yeah, within the Willamette. So this is, we just created a blend out of it.
So it's Eola Emily
It's
And-
Ribbon Ridge.
Ribbon Ridge. Okay.
Brightness, pure fruit, right? Smells like holidays. I mean, and the beauty side of it.
Elegant oak.
Elegant, sandalwood, every berry that you can think of.
Yeah, you got all those
Seen it.
red and blues. You get the
Yeah.
currants
Yeah,
and
the
the
currants
straw
is
and the
really-
raspberries.
Cranberries. There. Do you have like a winery or producer that you look up to when making this wine?
Nick.
So, thinking about the
My winemaker,
your
Nick.
winemaker.
Yeah,
Any
he's-
other like producer that you think is like that you will think highly about?
Probably. I'm losing his name. He owns Cameron Wineries.
Cameron.
Cameron. I'm losing his name.
Camera.
He makes beautiful wines too. And then he lives in the same particular small micro fermentations. He does very elegant wines. He does a Nebbiolo. He has a little Nebbiolo fruit in the Willamette Valley,
Wow.
and it's
Which
really
makes
quite
complete
lovely.
sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
So for the Pinot, do you do any whole bunch? Or is
I don't like
just-
whole
it's
cluster.
just stem?
Yeah, we just stem everything.
Everything.
Even the Rhones. So one is whole cluster for me adds a minty flavor.
Like
It's like
Green.
it's green, but it's minty. It's like,
stemmy-
peppermint, spearmint.
Stemmy, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that
Stemmy,
flavor at all.
wintergreen.
And also, so in part we get a little bit of carbonic maceration going on with this because we own I bought a Pelunk destemmer, and that destemmer takes the berries off in a way that leaves them whole and doesn't smush them.
Oh, okay. So you do have like some kind of like a semi-carbonic going on. in
Yeah,
the
it's
bottom
like
of the bag.
you would call semi-carbonic. Yeah,
Okay.
we definitely. So then what we're doing is when we're chasing what we call caviar. So I've got pictures on my phone, and this is all done in these big upright oak fermenters.
Intact.
So yes, and it gets rid of almost all of the jacks. So we can adjust it so it strips them off kind of like this. So they just plucks them. Whereas most of the other distemmers, they got these round, and they just rip them off, or they look like
Like spatulas.
spatulas, and they just beat them to death, and so the berries come off all broken and
already
blown up.
crushed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we're adjusting it all the time to try and make sure we get caviar, and then we're layering it with dry ice.
Caviar.
So
That's
we
a
get
great
this-
word. Yeah.
It's so funny that you tell me this now because maybe like 2 weeks ago I think I was having a conversation with a winemaker from Piemonte. What they do Nebbiolo. So for Nebbiolo it's like they want a lot of extraction.
Yes.
But she was like, I try always to get the semi-carbonic
Yeah.
maceration. I want intact berries. So she designed a whole, like a mesh on the bottom of her tanks,
Yeah.
so that when the must is extracted to do the pump overs,
Mm-hmm.
no berries will crush.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the
Softens the
same.
pour over.
It's the same idea. It's like I don't want the grapes being crushed.
Exactly.
And I was like, wow.
So-
And the ones are very nice.
So we treat all of the fruit the same way. Doesn't matter, Syrah, Malbec,
Tempranillo.
all of it.
Okay.
We don't do whole cluster. And so we're able to get that semi-carbonic
Yeah.
going on. And that fermentation inside of the berry is what
Yeah.
we're really trying to capture. And I think it really captures some of the elegance of the fruit.
Yeah, the nice fruit.
And I think the other part of it also is we get a little, you're talking about winemaking, a little bit of a bump in aromatics and flavor profile, is when we pick the fruit, we have to drive 400 miles to get back to the winery. So this year we drove for 14 days. We drive 1 day there. Day 2, we get up and then we pick fruit. We load the fruit. We drive 400 miles all the way back to the winery. And
Oh,
we're
wow.
getting home at midnight or 3 a.m. in the
Yeah.
morning. Then we go drive to the winery, process the fruit. Day 4, drive all the way back. and we did that for 14 days. We had, what, 7 picks?
Yeah, 7 picks, 7 trips.
Wow.
Holy crap!
2 pickups, 2 trailers.
Wow. Every day.
Every day.
Back and forth.
Yeah, after 2 weeks, we were like, oh my gosh.
I can
And
imagine.
then you have to do all the winery work, no?
Well, my winemaker has an assistant, and so they're
Oh,
back
nice.
at the winery doing all that while we're on the road,
Okay.
back and forth, right? And so,
Calling to each other and just not to fall asleep, I guess.
yeah, there's like, yeah, there's a
It's-
little bit, you got to make sure you protect your sleep.
Yeah.
You just get a little rummy, I don't know how to translate it into Spanish, but you get a little loco in the head.
We need to do a pause.
Yep, perfect.
We'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back.
Perfect.
So you do Tempranillo from...
Yes, that's Snake River first.
Snake
So from
River
here
bottle.
on, the next 2 bottles are going to be our Snake River varietals.
Eurabia.
And I've loved Spanish Tempranillo.
Uh-huh. What's your favorite that you remember?
Well,
Yeah.
when I first,
Oh, you were talking
Drink.
about the Le Petit Vega is not... It must be a blend of... Like the
It's a blend.
Like the Vega
yeah,
Sicilian,
I
huh?
love Vega Sicilia wines. But the first wine I ever drank, I was like 30 years old, because I just didn't like, wine just didn't taste good. Until I asked a Spanish colleague of mine to, hey, I'd like to pair wine and food, but I must be picking poorly or something. And we went out, we were in Washington, D.C. at a conference, and he picked a bottle of Pescara Reserva.
Oh, okay, nice.
Oh my, that was not acquired taste.
Crazy classic.
When Alejandro Fernando was still alive.
I remember when
No,
we were
it's-
talking about
yeah,
him,
it's
yeah.
like, he made beautiful wines.
Yeah.
And that was like my gateway, I call it the gateway drug. It got me, it's like, wow, this is like something else.
Nice.
Vina Todonia is one of my favorite
Okay.
Spanish wines. We actually went there and in 2018, and because we had the wine shop, we distributed Vina Todonia, and then they were able to, hey, our distributor said, hey, they're coming in, why don't you, and they had a whole day set aside for us.
Nice.
They made their own barrels, that is one beautiful project. It's been around a really long time.
Oh, yeah.
But I love Vina
Classic.
Todonia wines.
As classic as it gets.
So that sort of, all of my Spanish wine has always informed
With
what I
amazing
like.
references.
Yeah. And so in that sense of it, it was like Tempranillo. I really love the Rioja Tempranillos. I love all the products. Vina Ardenza is one of my favorites. And then you get to, 904 and 870. Those are the Grand Reservas.
Francisco's company imports
Oh, I love those.
La
Those
Rioja
are-
Alta.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Those
actually
are-
the Alvarinho is from the same company.
Okay.
That's
All,
winery of that group.
okay. Vina Alt, is it La Rioja?
La Rioja Alta.
Yeah, that's it.
Rioja Alta.
Yeah, that's one of my
Aranza,
faves.
890, 904.
Yeah, so good.
Arana. Yeah, they're delicious wines. We had the opportunity to try them often, and it's always
So this Tempranillo is done in rotary oak.
rotary.
Rotary.
Yeah, most of it went into rotaries. I think in 22 it went into all rotaries.
How cold it gets in Snake River during winter.
In the winter, we can get into the teens occasionally. Yeah,
Okay.
it gets pretty cold, but
Pretty
the
cold.
the vines are all shut down
Yeah, for sure.
at that point, so they're
Snow
they're pretty
every-
hard.
Yeah, it'll snow.
Yeah, it'll snow.
And that's at that point in time we learned, because we were sort of new to the whole thing, like once you have snow on the ground, well, it can't get, if it's colder up above, snow is now an insulation.
Yeah.
Because it might be 0 degrees up above, but ice is 32.
Yeah.
So everything below is not at 0. So it's ice and snow is a protector.
Yeah, the problem.
No, and I mean-
the problem is when you don't have it and you may get like a.
We did have that about
Freeze.
7 years ago. We had
Helada.
it was like
the
a November,
frost,
December,
yeah.
it just came in, and it was so hard, it destroyed a lot of vines. Wasn't us, but, because we didn't have anything, but our neighbors did. So the 22, this is a Snake River, little vineyard. And so she planted her fruit, I think first harvest, this is fourth year. Third year fruit was in 21, this is 22. So this is first year. Little place called Roxburgh, and it's basically up on a plateau. It's flat, and it's just gravel.
Oh.
So she's got to water a lot because there's not hardly any soil. So the water just goes right through the gravel.
Yeah, it drains. What kind of oak do you use for this one?
It's the Allery.
The same French?
It's all French oak. We don't do anything else other than French. So the rotaries are French. The barrels are French. They just seem to do a very nice job. American oak
Well, they do.
does, there's just a lot more vanilla in it, in American oak.
Yeah, sweetness.
Yeah, and I think therein lies the difference between this Tempranillo than the Tempranillo, because they're using a lot of American oak in Spain.
In Rioja, yeah.
Yeah, and so in that sense of it, you don't have that influence.
What is the vintage of this one?
22. We just released it last June.
Oh, that's. I mean, I think that the profile is on point
Yeah, it is.
in terms of structure.
Would be tough to call it an Oregon.
It would, yeah, it would.
No, you wouldn't say.
Hmm?
I wouldn't say Oregon is
No, nobody.
Nobody does this.
nobody.
But it does taste like Tempranillo.
It is like a
Yeah, we wanted to protect the fruit.
Yeah.
And you'll see that with all of our wines. I didn't know how to do that until I met my winemaker. And then it was just like, when we walk through the vineyard and you eat the fruit, I want you to experience the fruit in the vineyard, in the wine. And it's like, how do you get it there?
There's also a floral character. Like lavender, rose petal.
And in your vineyard, you also planted Tempranillo, right?
We did, yes.
Yep.
It opens up too. At first, I was like, I got like a smoky
Yes.
profile,
Pretty.
but then started opening up. It's nice. It has a good evolution in the glass. It would be nice for dinner or for an asado.
It goes with wild game really well.
For sure.
Yeah.
You get
Yeah,
some
short
venison.
Cabrito.
Some dog, I think.
Yeah, borrego, like a barbacoa.
It goes with paella pretty good too.
Oh, yeah.
There's a
A
restaurant.
gamey paella.
Yeah. Well, and also suckling pig. So if you can get a pig with a bit of
Yeah.
Cadiz, a
Chopped
restaurant
with a
down
plate.
here has a suckling pig paella that's actually
Yeah.
pretty delightful.
Wow, yeah. That's good.
Oof.
That's good wine.
It's going to
Has very
continue
nice
to
profile.
open. And that's one of the other tests for our wines. Like, I'll just pour less than the glass and walk away for an hour and come back. Does it still hold the aromatics?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, for sure.
Or does it just fall apart? These wines don't fall apart. And that's what's also kind of fun about them. And I love aromatics. It's got a little coffee.
For your vineyard, did
Yeah,
you plant
espresso.
specific clones? How did you decide it?
That was just
Decide.
based on recommendation from people who know more than me.
Okay.
And so the variety it's got a nice little slope to the south to the vineyard. And then I had a guy come out who's a mineral soil guy. He's mapped most of North America. And we did over 30 6-foot pit digs. Colton dug all the holes with the backhoe and just went as far as he could go down. And then we had all the layers and we took pictures of all of it. So he did a whole study on soil samples for the whole vineyard. And then he plotted out the entire 40 acres and it's sort of based on drainage and location. Then we picked where we're going to plant varietals. So there's basically 4.5 acre blocks and 4 at the bottom because it's a nice rectangular square
okay.
field. So at the top, we call the north end of it, north side, you got from west to east, we bookended Syrah, and then we have Tempranillo and Mourvèdre, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then we have 3 rows of Viognier. because we co-ferment Viognier with the Syrah. And then on the south blocks, it's to the west, there's 2 blocks of Malbec, and then we have Grenache and Cab Franc.
See, that's how everyone should go about their planning. Not just like, oh, I like Tempranillo. Yeah, I'll plant my land that I have here, and it's all soil that I can think of that is not suitable for the grape, and then you
Exactly.
plant it 10 hectares, right? And now you are left with
10 years later,
bad grapes that don't.
your vines are dead.
Yeah.
Or you don't
have
like
to pull
what's
them
wrong
out.
with my fruit? And you're
Well,
like,
Exactly.
yeah, the fruit is not expressive. It's not nice.
Exactly.
It's not good.
and what we found over there too is like, it's high desert, high heat. Does not make good. You can grow Chardonnay, you can grow Pinot. The wine is awful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and also the soil's more alkali. So our pHs are,
pHs tend to be very high.
Wow.
and so,
Beautiful.
That's good for the acidity of
Uh-huh,
the wines.
exactly.
so for us, we can, the alkali ends up, so we end up with low acid fruit. For whatever reason, we don't know why, we've always had to add more tartaric acid to all the wines from Snake River. We didn't have to do any of that with our own fruit.
Yeah.
It never had, like, all the panels came back perfect. Like, maybe it was just lucky it's the first year. I don't know.
Beginner's luck.
Yeah, beginner's luck, and, who knows? We'll see what that looks like moving forward.
It's crazy because it can also be a very similar environment of like Toro in Spain. No more than Ribera or Rioja, high desert. The fact that you guys get so cold, the high heat, that much high heat.
We do.
And I mean, Toro can produce highly concentrated reds, but beautifully balanced.
Okay.
too. Interesting.
Yeah, and it's hard to see on Google Earth, but we call it Sunset Valley because the farmers settled it and called it Sunset Valley. It's very small. You can walk, or we're on the northern bench, and you can walk to the southern side of it, I don't know, 45 minutes.
45 minutes, yeah.
And you can see it. If you go to our website, you can look down and there's the hillside, the big old, was it Chalk Butte or
Mitchell Butte.
Mitchell.
Well, we have a Chalk Butte and a
and
Mitchell,
Mitchell?
Butte, so
I
we're
get
kinda
it
sandwiched
reversed
between.
around. But it's its own little valley, and it's a microclimate inside Snake River.
Yeah.
And you can see the weather coming, and it will, because of the way it's shaped in the valley, you'll start seeing the weather shift around it. You'll get hit with some of it, but you won't get pounded.
Okay.
And so it's a very unique place.
Beautiful juice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Good
Thank
to
you.
know.
I mean, like you were saying, it's still opening.
Oh,
All the floral notes are
Yeah.
coming out.
Sí, abrimos tanto.
you will, so my winemaker and I refer to it all week, the wines are alive. And it's trying to make sure that we have the fruit and the wine is still alive. I've drank wine that Pinot he made in 2011, and they're just as youthful and alive as it's amazing.
Yeah.
And so that's also part of, we're trying to make wines that expresses the fruit, but it's also, they're going to live a very, very long time. It's not a dead wine.
You
There's a
can
lot
drink them right away, or you can put them in the cellar and
for 20
go
years, you're
back
going to be
after
fine.
50 years.
Yeah, that's the goal.
El color.
Yeah, Nick's a brilliant guy. Cab Franc. All of the wines from Snake River have a name. So, and they're named, the first, when we did the Syrah and the Malbec, we named them after my wife's grandmother and grandfather. So the Malbec is called the Dawn. And her grandmother, we call it the Dana Jean, that's the Syrah. And then my wife's father passed away a couple of years, and this was the first time we had Cab Franc, and so we call it the Dean.
That's very good.
And then the blend, my wife wanted a blend, so she got a blend, and so we call it the Sherry Ann.
Sure. Yeah, with the Rhone varieties, you're planning to do a blend?
We
With
have
the
one. The Sherry Ann
Grenache,
is the blend.
More
Right?
better.
So this year so also in Snake River, where I've been buying fruit for the past several years, they have I think the oldest Cab Sauv block in the Snake River. And so we have that little tiny block. It's over 27 years old now. So we bring that Cab Sauv. So it's still in barrel. We're still working on it.
Aging.
That's 23.
Okay.
Wow.
We haven't, like, we're still working it out. It's just, it's kind of like,
It's an
yeah.
animal.
Yeah, it doesn't produce a lot of fruit. So I think we only have like 3 barrels of it.
Okay.
So it's a work in progress. It'll be a Cab Sauv that I've never had before. It's beautiful, but it's just, I think it'll take people by surprise. And I think that's what a lot of, like, Cab Franc, most people to Cab Franc, they're used to drinking really dark, inky Cab Franc. And the Parisiens, where you get that green pepper.
Yeah.
I don't like it either. We don't have it. So there is a book that if you want to, so I'm sort of squirreling my topic around here a little bit, that it's called the Myths of Terroir and Winemaking, and it was written by a plant biologist in California. So there's a lot of myths and just stuff that's not true about wine. And he takes all of those on through plant biology and says why that's not possible.
Awesome.
So when it comes to vineyard management, like, hey, we're going to go through and smaller berries make for intenser wine, that's not possible. And he explains why plant biology will never, that does not make it more intense wine. You just had smaller clusters and you had less of them.
Less must.
And so
Yeah,
you ended up
less
with,
water.
well, what he'll take you back to France. It's like, well, the yields went down, so now we're going to make up something to sell wine. And he does a lot of the things that you'll hear, like, oh no, this does this. And when you read the book, you're like, no way.
What's the name of the book again?
The Myths of Terroir and Winemaking.
The Myths of
The
Terroir in
Myths.
Winemaking. The Myths.
Myths. You can find it on Amazon.
Okay, yeah, I'll get it.
Yeah,
It's
we-
about
we
that
have to.
thick. It is spot on. But it has a lot to do, applies more to the vineyard.
Called Terroir
And the
other
myths.
myths of wine growing.
There you go.
That's it.
That's it. That book changed, like, that'll change your religion.
It's unbelievable.
Because
It's
the other
amazing.
one, what we've heard is like a religious
Yeah.
thing that gets passed down.
Like minerality
Yeah.
in wine,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Crazy.
exactly.
So, but what it did is it transformed our approach to farming.
Mm-hmm.
So, we don't have green pepper notes. There's only one way you kind of get those. You expose that cluster to more sun, more everything. And so the winemakers that are over there, they were getting all these Parisiens and all the whole green pepper note. And what the winemakers were making the vineyard guys do, where we wanted to tear all the leaves off of everything to give them more exposure.
Yeah.
Well, the book will tell you don't do that.
Don't do that.
It needs more sun. It needs more shade. So I just said, nope, I'm a farmer kid. And so our approach to the fruit was, I want you to farm it like a farmer. Just give me good fruit. Don't do anything special. Just grow grapes and just take care of them.
And what do you do? Nothing?
Very little. Very little intervention. It's like, we're lifting the wires so you get good airflow.
manage the shade,
you manage
right?
it. But we're not there doing all this little micro stuff. And
So
meanwhile,
that's real low intervention wine.
Exactly.
all
From
of it,
the
like,
vineyard.
do
yeah.
it early.
Yeah.
Do the least amount to take care of whatever the issue is, and then let it be can I get great fruit? Well, we don't have it. None of our Cab Francs have it.
Yeah,
And so-
it came down to a lot of the principles of how you chose to irrigate and
Yeah.
then how you chose to manage the canopy based on sun exposure, based on airflow to make sure you're not getting you know, mold and mildew and things like that.
Yeah.
But trying to, when winemakers trying to come in and they think that they know what needs to happen inside the canopy and in the cluster zone to try and get what they want out of the wine, and they misunderstand the principles behind it.
And they're not farmers.
Exactly.
So you have people telling you what you should do based on what we call the myths, because they're winemakers, and so they're hearing all this stuff passed down hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And they're coming like, and so for us,
And what some books say. Too.
yeah, no, it's a religion.
Yeah.
And so for us, it was like, no, when I live in a forensic psychology world, so we live in research. That's my day job. And you know, you got to have at least some backing of science behind it, as opposed to just because I feel this way doesn't work. So our approach was the same way. We're going to come to this farmers. Now I need to know more about plant biology. And that book just was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. This is so good material for the podcast, man. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
This is like things that the real things that we want to talk about. You know, like the myths, the things happening actually in the vineyard, and the perspective from being a farmer. You know, to just give me great fruit. That for me, that's gold.
Yeah.
That's gold, and it's sometimes winemakers or estates, they forget about that, right? And then they start like doing all this kind of like science and the myth and this and that and then they forget about the basic thing, which is just have great fruit,
Yeah.
and then you have great wine.
You start out with really great fruit, you can have a mediocre winemaker and still make decent wine.
Yeah.
True.
Just give me some really good fruit, man.
That's it. It's crazy that wine will always show you something new, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
It's
no
my
matter
religion.
no matter how much you've heard, how many wines you've tasted, you will always find something different. And it's so hard for one person to have it all.
It is.
I mean, there's no single truth. You know, so many different aspects, so many different versions, so many different approaches.
Yeah.
And I think that's the uniqueness.
And for me, it's also trying to find all the right people. The more I can network with really great, knowledgeable people, they keep informing us.
Yeah.
And so I'm always looking for the guy that's like, what are you doing over there? Wow, that's really like, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
It's just like, so
Yeah.
chasing greatness in wine, you know.
Exactly.
That's a lot of fun.
Chasing greatness in wine.
That's the name
We
of
can quote
another
that.
great book.
We can quote that, yeah.
That'll be your first publication. Cabo Wine Guys. Chasing greatness in wine.
Oh yeah,
Cheers to
that's
that.
amazing. Yeah.
Cheers to that. New slogan. Cheers. Thank you for sharing these beautiful wines.
And delicious.
You get all the blueberries.
Yeah, lots of blue fruit.
Lots of blues.
Yeah, but the Cab Franc it's there. I think. I mean, I get like this black tea and like strong notes, flower profile as well.
Yeah, walnuts.
Like it's there, but it's so.
Yeah, it's a profile of a
Approachable.
classic Cab Franc.
See, yeah, it does. I mean,
Yeah.
it reminds me a little bit of some Italian Cab Franc that I have tried. That, like you say, is there's no green pyrrazines.
Yeah.
But the wine is like, I think it's a little bit of ambivalent for me. Cab Franc, that's how I see this grape. Is that it's when it's done in a right way is fun, but at the same time it gives you a dark side of
Yes.
spice and black tea and like these flowers that are like you're like, oh, how.
A little gamey as well.
Yeah, some game, yeah, and it has it all.
And it's also the French Cab Francs. They're always bent towards dark fruit, or they're kind of 2 or 3 notes. For this, I wanted our Cab Franc to really. I want you to eat that cluster. Do you taste the juicy nature of that berry? And just the fruit profile. In the same way, it was like I think there's like 1 or 2 new oak barrels, and everything else is all neutral oak barrels in aging. So
Yeah,
that-
the
that we're-
oak impact is not.
Yeah, we're trying to protect the fruit. We need enough of the barrel to give it influence, but not to override the fruit. And so this was also done fermentation too. We did it in concrete. I have these big square fermenters, and then an upright oak, and then it gets done in stainless. So it had all
The mix.
multiple layers
Okay.
of coming in, and then we destem into those. And we're still chasing caviar.
Do you guys like to work with native yeast or you?
That's all native. We don't
All
add
native.
anything.
Everything.
Oh, it's all native yeast.
Oh yeah, there's no added yeast whatsoever.
In all of the wines?
All of the wines are the same way.
Oh, wow.
Because even like you were saying, even in France, if you think of Loire, but Chinon versus Saumur and Bordeaux, right? So the shades again of Cap Franc, it depends on.
Where it's from.
Uh-huh.
And so for us, anyhow, what was important is there's natural yeast in the vineyard on the berries.
Yeah.
And what we're wanting to do is capitalize on those yeasts. And sometimes you can have problems, you can have some bad wines that way. But at the end of the day, Nick makes all these early interventions. He's paying attention to all the nuances of what this little guy's doing.
Wow.
And so it's just like, I liken it to raising kids. If you have a child and you don't discipline them until they're 20, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble from 3.
And so then you got to use a really big stick.
Yeah.
And well, the only stick we really have is SO2,
Yeah,
sulfur,
of course.
right? And so what ends up like, there's winemakers let the wine be a rotten child for the developmental periods going through, and then to get it under control, they just beat it to death with SO2.
Yeah, you don't want to
That's
go
not good.
there.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, that's not a thing for us. And I've never had beautiful, elegant wines treated that way.
It's true.
And I think that was the part.
Just like humans, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
Or anything.
Just like people.
A plant.
Yeah, music.
Just take care of it. Little
Love.
tiny interventions keeps you from doing big
shaping,
ones.
You know,
Yeah.
shaping little by little, not trying to straighten up crooked, how do you say it?
A crooked branch, because it'll always be crooked.
Yeah, no matter
Get
what.
exactly. You can never fix that.
Oh, unless you break it and you're like,
Oh, cut it back off
it.
and start over.
No.
Doesn't
Can't
work
do
that way
that.
with people.
all right, guys. Well, this was a very nice episode. Thank you very much for
Thank you.
sharing your wines. I think that we agree that they're all very, very beautiful wines. Like you said, I think I get the feeling of the grapefruit. Guys, you have anything to say to close our 18th episode of the
No,
Cabo Wine Guys?
Thank you so much. Thank you. I think it's great. I mean, it's great to know what's happening in Oregon beyond
Willamette.
Willamette,
Yes.
and that's amazing. I think the future is bright. And congratulations for you both.
Thank you.
I think this project really talks, about depth, about passion, and whatever is what we're always chasing greatness.
Chasing greatness in
Yeah.
In
wine.
wine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be our new podcast motto.
There you go.
But yeah, okay. Well, thank you very much, guys. Thank you for our audience to tune in with our 18th episode, and well, cheers, salud.
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 Let's keep chasing greatness in wine.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Bienvenido a Cabo Wine Guys, donde hablamos de vino, copas y cultura del vino en México.
That they say it's a wrap.